Welcome back to the channel, guys. Donnie D back at you. So today we're going to talk about hiring a qualified tile installation contractor for your home project. Okay, this is really crucial to find the right person to work on your home. So I'm going to read through a blog here. This is not one that I wrote. I write a lot on my own website, but this is from the Ceramic Tile Education Foundation. I'll put a link in the description below. This organization basically goes around the country and certifies tile installers so they have a number so they know the basics of tile. Now there's a test they take, it's a whole background to it, but I won't get too deep into that. You can go to their website and check it out. But today we're just going to go briefly through, try to summarize, hiring the right contractor to work on your home. So let's start off with here's what they said in the first section here. What does qualified labor mean? Qualified labor refers to having the most qualified professional perform the scope of work you're specifying rather than the base decision on the lowest priced. Very important. The Tile Council of North America, TCNA, Handbook Committee strongly recommends using installers who have demonstrated their commitment to the craft and taking the time to stay current with the latest materials and methods. Because tile is a permanent finish, the lowest bid should not be the driving factor, but rather who is the most qualified to perform the scope of work specified. Very important. I get multiple leads every single week, and I find people are just looking for the lowest price, and those are not the people that I'm personally looking to work for. I'm looking for the people that actually care and they want to have a qualified person do the project. So make sure let's say you're watching this now, listening to this, if this is important to you, which I would think it'd be, that's why you're tuning into this video. Make sure you hire a qualified, tile setter, tile installer. Now there's many different certifications. I'm personally a certified tile installer, but just to go through here a few, they have the advanced certifications for tile installers, ACT. I'll be taking that whenever they have the next opening here for New Jersey. We got a few more through the union stuff and this and that, and you could check that out on the blog here. But I'll go through a few other things. Where can you find tile installation experts for your project? Well, you can start off with certified tile installers through the CTEF website. You go on the website, you could type in your location, and you'll be able to find some certified tile installers near you. At least I hope so. There is over I think 1,500 at the time of this recording, which is the winter of 2024. And the whole country is about 1,500 or so, give or take. So you may or may not be able to find someone. Next thing up here, let's see. Chapter 2, Best Practices for Hiring a Tile Installation Contractor. So if you go on the website, the CTF, they have a five-page questionnaire if you want to do this for your contractor. I've been doing this now for many years. I've never had one client actually print this up and say, hey, why don't you fill this out so we can see if you're the one for the project. But if this is important to you, definitely check it out. It really helps you see what you want to do. But usually contractors now, at least the ones that care, ones that are like me or somewhat similar. There's not many like me, but the ones that are online, they're putting out social media content, they're even posting videos or blogs or something on a website with sharing what their projects were, what the total investment was, what they paid the contract and whatnot, what the contractor charged for the job. That's real transparency. That's what you're looking for. Look for someone like that. That really helps. Now step number 2, you want to obtain and check references. I mean, that's pretty much a given. A lot of people think that I'm just going to find 3 guys and get 3 bids. No, you need to look around and hire the people that make sense to you, that are highest qualified. Don't just go on Google and say, hey, I got 3 guys, you know, around the area that look okay. Vet them before you even call them. Go on their social media, see what they're about, see what they're pricing, and see if they even fit in your budget to do the job. Check all that out before you decide to call. You know, a few of them, and usually you should have a good idea if you're going to know if you hire them before you're even going to call them. So just a few things that they list here is how easy it is to communicate with the installer, how well did he or she listen to you, the homeowner. Would the referencer, like if you got referred a contractor, would they hire them again? Things like that. You know, did the installer show up on project? These are all the questions you get asked, you know, the contractor you're going to hire. If they referred you to, if they have a client that they can, you know, talk to, if you could talk to one of their clients, that's usually valuable too. I've had a few of my clients ask me for that, but it's still like a rare thing. But you know, when it comes down to that, my clients are not in the business of selling my project, so I don't give out their information. If they really want it, I'll reach out to my clients, and a lot of them are willing to speak with my potential clients. But again, my previous clients over my history here, it's not their job to sell my project. So I don't just go out there and say, hey, call these ones. If the client really insists that they want to talk to someone, then I'll reach out to my previous clients and see who's willing to spend their own time and effort to talk to them. Pay attention to warning signs. You know, simple stuff here they listed. Can you verify the installer's contact information? You know, another thing to worry about, if the contractor is asking for cash only for the job, that's you know, that's a big red flag. Most companies that are doing things legit, you know, they're going to take any form of payment. I even take credit cards myself. Now, obviously, there is a fee for that, so I have to charge for that fee. But, you know, most contractors that are, you know, they actually care, they're going to take any forms of payment, and they're not going to try to go for cash on the jobs. So, another few things I go through here for the potential warning signs is, can you see examples of the previous tile installations? Again, check out their stuff online. They should have a tremendous amount of stuff. If they have nothing online or very little, then they're at the point that they retire and they don't care, or they're just living off of referrals from all the clients that they did in the past, and they don't really care about having a brand or a good reputation, you know, online, and that's on them. So another section here, step 3, ask your contractor candidate questions. So you can ask too many questions. Questions help anticipate issues and ensure a better overall experience and final installation. Here are some possible questions to consider. Now this, again, if you research enough, this information is going to be online, and the contractor should know all this. But if you're hesitant, you usually shouldn't be even calling a person. But this is just basic stuff that they have on the website. Like, for example, one of the questions says, is my home structurally adequate for tile? For example, if you're replacing vinyl flooring with tile and adding a granite countertop, will the structure support the weight? So simple things like that. A lot of people think, like, you know, that I just take off whatever flooring I have down and put down tile. No, it all starts from the foundation of the home. Everything has to be built and meet, you know, standards to support the tile. I'm not going to go into detail with that. I have other videos for that, but you know, this, you know, the structure and all that is very important to have a, you know, tile installation installed correctly and have it last for a long time. A couple other questions they have here: how long will I be out of my home space? You know, if there's permits, if they're using any subcontractors, or if there's any other mechanical contractors, things like that. Step 4, ensure you have a written agreement. Again, you should have a scope of work. It doesn't have to be in crazy detail from the contractor, but at least you have a scope of work and a contract signed with them, so you both are protected for the project if things ever went sideways. So make sure you have a contract, scope of work, all that, payment plans, things like that on the contract. Shuffling through here. Well, using premium materials, that's a kind of a given there. Most guys won't use premium materials because they don't want to pay, so their price to you, the homeowner, will be less. But again, that's up to you and a contractor. That if that's important to you and them, make sure that they use proper premium top line installation materials, and that really does help with longevity of the project. But most standard materials will work most of the time. It just won't work as long, won't have the longevity. So it depends what's important to you. But again, if you're listening to this, doing your research, actually caring, you're going to want premium materials to be used, and I don't blame you there for a second. Another thing here, I'm just reading through, confirm that tile installation surfaces are flat. So again, substrates, walls, floors, ceilings have to be within a certain tolerance for tile installation. When you hire the right contractor, they're going to go around, they're going to check that things are flat before the tile go up. A lot of guys don't, so they get things done quicker and ends up failing in the long run. So make sure that they do that, or you hire someone that actually cares to make sure things are prepped correctly. I can't tell you that enough, how important that is for things to be prepped correctly. Once everything is prepped correctly, tile installation is going to be more efficient and come out a lot better. Another thing here, I'm just kind of skimming through. Minimum mortar coverage must be provided. Yeah, so tile industry standards require a minimum mortar coverage of 80% in dry areas and 95% in wet areas, or parentheses, unquote, showers or exterior areas. Natural stone tile installations require 95% coverage in all applications. So mortar coverage on the back of the tile is going to make or break the tile installation. I can't stress that enough. Another thing I've seen, I've actually checked out a commercial job, and this is listed on the blog as well. Having a minimum grout joint or offset. The job I actually checked out recently, the tile was all natural stone and it literally butted together and it had no grout joint. So the grout is literally popping out of everywhere on thousands upon thousands of square feet of tile. So just to give you an idea, the minimum required grout joint for all types of tile, ceramic, porcelain, natural stone, is 1/16, so nothing less than 1/16 joint. And that's from the edge of the tile all the way to the substrate. It's not just the top of the tile. If they're heavily beveled, you butt them together on the bottom. No, it's from the bottom up. That's 1/16 has to be gapped for the grout joint in each tile that is set jointly to each other. Technically, if you want to go by the book, which I do agree with, for every tile, if let's say the tile is at a size about 1/16, you got to go with a 3/16 joint. And contractors, homeowners, designers, they kind of go back and forth with that. They want a tighter joint, but if you go by the book, by the standards here, that's what you need. Whatever the variance is, you got to go 3 times that for the grout joint. Then as far as offset goes, any tile with any side that is larger than 15 inches cannot be offset more than 33%. So a lot of those plank tiles are popular these days. The wood ones, they're still around. Been doing a lot for the last 10 years. 12x24s are popular. And a lot of people like to run the 12x24s on a 50%, or you can say brick pattern. And that is kind of breaking the rules here. Some tiles are flatter than others, so you can kind of get away with it. But again, that's the standard, it's no more than 33%. Number 7 here on the blog in this section is ensure the tile site conditions are controlled. Now this is a tough one. Most residential homes you can control that somewhat. I've had a few jobs in the past where the people just don't like to put on the heat, and the house is literally 50 degrees and nothing's drying. So with tile installations, it's very important that you maintain the temperatures in the areas that the tile is being installed, and it stays like that while everything is curing. That's real important. Again, it says allow for adequate cure time. Again, depending on the manufacturer's material that you use, you got to follow that for the proper dry time. And then number 10 here, make use of a crack isolation membranes as needed. So for example, You have concrete floors. If there's cracks in it, you got to address that area. If you tile right over it, expansion joints, cracks, again, with this recent job I checked out, the tile is cracking and failing all over the place because they did not file or you know, address the cracks and did not follow the expansion joints. So that all this stuff is just very, very important to do correctly. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going here. The blog kind of gets a little bit technical with this stuff. I know you're here to figure out how to hire the right person, so I'm just going to go over the things that make most sense for this video. Another thing is, when you're doing the install, you're not sure how the layout's going to work or the pattern, so what we would do is what we call a mock-up. You have a few tiles, maybe a bunch of tiles. You do a mock-up. You put them together with spacers or, you know, rough grout joints, and you have the homeowner, you know, look at it and make sure you're happy with that before you actually set the tile, because once it's set in stone, that's it. That's what they say, right? So once it's down, that's it. Let's see. We're going to keep on going here. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole blog. Actually, let's see. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole blog as far as what makes sense for this video, finding the proper highly qualified tile installation contractor for working on your home. So I pretty much covered everything. Nothing else comes to my mind right now. Maybe if it does, I'll put in the comment section below or description. But the bottom line is, when you hire a tile contractor, tile installer, tile setter, them being certified is not, you know, doesn't have to be, but finding a certified tile installer will definitely guarantee you that you're hiring someone that has a, you know, very good idea what they do, you know, following all the guidelines and all that. And again, do not ever hire a tile contractor, any contractor, based on price. If you do that, you're going to have problems. I have constant leads coming in with failures all the time because people tend to go with the lower cost contractor, and actually cost them double if not triple in the long run, because they have to have someone like me that charges a proper rate, that doesn't charge low rates, that charges a proper rate to be able to support a family and have a normal life, do the job for them, get it done right, and then never have a problem again. Again, I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. Leave a comment section below, head to the website, whatever it is, I'm here to serve. So other than that, appreciate you tuning in. This is Donnie, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you, sir.